And so, welcome back to another live stream. So, we are continuing with the story of Conquest Realm, the 3.2 update. So, we just switched to Castor's viewpoint.
Lord Nias's honor is sealed here.
Incredible. The honor in this child's soul is so light. I believe that his tenacity is sealed within this statue.
Before we fought Nikador, we also released it from the stone statue.
Yeah, but back in the story, these ones were like supposedly made by the criminals, right? So, it's a little bit interesting that actually this goes deeper.
Nikador's courage is a testament that they have never once retreated from a battle.
I've heard that these words are still engraved in Castrum Kremnos even today. It didn't occur to me that they were actually part of an alchemical formula. Sealed within this statue is undoubtedly his sacrifice.
They use their own body as our city walls, keeping out and protecting us from the pervasive spread of madness. They are acutely aware that if the end times were to arrive, there would be nothing left in this world to conquer.
Honor, courage, tenacity, sacrifice.
And finally, the only thing that remains is reason.
Cheer up, young lady. There is no need to shed tears over a glorious death.
All farewells in this world are sorrowful, Lord Nias.
No, young lady. As a warrior, I have witnessed too many bitter deaths. But now, all I feel is peace. I did not know until this moment that mortals could live their lives in such a way.
Although only a sliver of your soul remains, you remain so optimistic. Or maybe the truth is that you aren't able to feel sorrow anymore.
To be honest, I don't know either. But I am certain of one thing. This is not an acceptance of death nor apathy toward it. It's not even a feeling of despair. I am just enjoying what remains of my life to the fullest.
Enjoying?
Indeed. Along this journey that we've taken together, not only have I changed the world, I myself have also changed in the process. And now I have reached the journey's end. When I look back and see the grand epic that I've personally written, how could I not revel in that fact?
But when you depart the mortal realm, won't all of your accomplishments be reduced to nothing? Separation and death are two sides of the same coin. Reconciling this doesn't come easily for a mortal.
Finally, let me recount to you a story of mine, young lady. The first time I returned from the battlefield, I felt extremely hollow. The calamity had devoured everybody on the battlefield but me. When I returned to the city alone, the citizens held a banquet for me that was far from pleasant. I felt as though I was still on the battlefield, and the person who had returned was nothing but an empty shell. It was late into the night by the time the banquet ended. My head still reeling, I returned alone to the barracks. On the way back, I encountered someone. It was a crazed scholar looking at the night sky and muttering to himself by the side of the road. Although I tripped over him and fell, I wasn't angry in the slightest. And maybe because I saw myself in him, I inexplicably asked him a question. Do you think that it'd be better if we just died on the roadside like a couple of stray dogs? To my surprise, he shrugged his shoulders and sighed.
How does someone who is currently experiencing death, dying and living, afford the same amount of bliss? Now please go away and don't block my starlight.
Are you
Okay.
trying to say that there is no difference between living and dying? For they are both journeys that lead toward death?
That's exactly what life is, and death is, but a scale to measure how valuable the journey was. Journeys and epics are only glorious and magnificent because all things eventually fade to dust. Therefore, young lady, don't detest your fate. Instead, willingly and respectfully embrace it.
The embodiment of strife telling me about the majesty of the world.
Indeed. I believe that when the fated moment eventually arrives, you will be able to understand my words. It is time for me to knock on death's door. I will set up a long table at the end of the road and humbly await your arrival. When that moment finally comes, let us drink and be merry then.
I knew this day would eventually come.
Are the both of you ready?
Polixia. I'm here. What? This...
This is quite interesting indeed.
Is this... Polixia's sister? Is it... me? Now, it's time for us to fulfill our promises. Are you afraid? What are you afraid of?
That I won't be able to do it.
You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame. As foretold in the prophecy, and according to our vows, once it all ends, we must face our fated moment head-on.
Even if it was prophesized, do we have no say in the matter? It's so unfair. Why are we the only ones who are forced into mutual destruction? Let me do it, sister. Let me be death's sacrifice. I was never long for this world anyway. But you're different. I was the one who wasted your life after all.
You're wrong, Polixia. I don't think that my life was wasted. Just the opposite. When I finally arrived at this destination and looked back at the journey I took, I discovered that flowers had long since bloomed along the path I walked. It was you who sowed the seeds for this sea of flowers, one that is more beautiful than the promised land at the end of the world. Besides, I have lived a fulfilling life. Even though I was fated for sacrifice, none of the things that I've experienced will dissipate. Instead, they'll forever live on as memories inside your head. Will they not?
How could my memories of you ever compare to the actual you?
Well then, tell me.
This kind of doesn't match Castor's promos, right? Because I mean, technically, from the promos, we know Castor is from very young, and she doesn't supposedly remember a sister, right? Although, I mean, we do have this story of her friend and so on, right? But I mean, still, it is weird, right? Because I mean, technically, we know like Castor issues from like the promotional videos and the Celestial, all of the videos that we have, right?
What exactly are we?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But regardless of what the answer is, regardless of how we're shaped by others, or even by this world, ever since we were born, the fact that we existed was predestined, and nothing could erase it. This is why I will always, always be by your side. We're twins, after all. All right, my dear Polixia. It's time to extract my heart and light the flame of death. After that, use it to plant the first bud in the prophesied new world.
If I imparted my knowledge of the art of alchemy to you, would you use it to resurrect someone you loved?
Death is inevitable. In the days to come, I am certain that someone whom I cherish deeply will leave me for good. If such a mighty power really existed, I think I would use it without hesitation. Even now, my answer remains the same. This is why, Sister, I promise you, in the prophesized new world, I shall plant the first bud on your behalf. Go now. Return to the ocean god's treasured pearl, our hometown. I shall open wide the entrance to the Netherrealm and grant you a second life. The living beings on this earth shall respond to my call and lead you to the sacred daylight. Remember, do not look back on the land of the dead, and do not stop moving. In the new world promised by the prophecy, march toward your new life. As for the price of our equivalent exchange, let me be the one to pay it.
Oh, this is kind of explains a little bit.
We've come to the end. Unfortunately, I am not compatible with the Supreme Being, so I was unable to completely fuse their soul into my own body. However, being able to glean all this from them is exciting enough. I'm certain of this now. Before the Titans that we are well acquainted with were born, a group of heroes roamed the land. These heroes followed a prophecy and took possession of divine authorities one by one, until they eventually became the pantheon of the new world. Just like the flame chase journey of today, Amphorius's history is cyclical in nature.
What a startling revelation. This means that the demigods, who bear the core flames, will also become the new Titans at the world's end, thereby shaping a new world?
Not necessarily.
I believe that this is the truth behind the Era Nova, as mentioned in the prophecy.
This is utterly unbelievable.
Yes.
Besides, those twins in the past, even if they really are Thanatos, their whereabouts are still unknown even today.
Just a detail in here, not necessarily, right? Because I mean, we were told that actually at some point time is scrambled, right? So I'm guessing that this scrambling of time is what actually makes like this treatise type of prophecy of when the wind of the east wind and things on, right? Once like chaos, like this bubble of chaos is redone. What I'm thinking is this type of world is like a world that metamorphosizes itself, right? So once a timeline gets scrambled and everything becomes chaos, when it emerges from the metamorphosis of this entire world, uh, for reasons of how this world works, I mean, like the ones that are prophesized that are going to be on the new world eventually become part of the new world, right? But again, things really become very weird about how are things mentioned in here, right? Because I mean, um, somehow what we're seeing here is that okay, Polixia and so on sacrifices her sister. I'm not sure right now. I do not remember if Polixia at some point mentions Castors by name or something like that, right? But I mean, like once everything gets smushed and reborn, something like that. Eventually Castoris is going to be in the new world, right? Because that's kind of like the sacrifice of Polixia, right? I mean, she sacrifices Castoris on the old world, but the information gets passed on after the metamorphosis to have Castoris in here, right? It's super weird, right? if they are actually going for that. Super weird, to be honest. I mean, there are some loopholes, I think, but until now, I think it kind of works. I'm guessing kind of like the idea that Catholic had before her slumber, whatever. Um, the idea is that if the entire world metamorphizes, uh, then okay, the black tie can be removed, right? To this point, something that could be happening in here is that maybe the black tide again is a stellar, maybe. And actually, what is going to be revealed at the end is that the only way to free a world from a stellar is for the entire world to be reborn. Or like this metamorphosis that's actually going to happen in here. Maybe that's why this information is going to be important for like the future of the entire plot or something like that. I'm still questioning about how it's like because again like this metamorphosis that we have in here um it's, it's already weird, right? Because I mean everything collapses to chaos, even like the reborn titans are collapsed to chaos, right? But for some reason, right, like eventually the order, once like everything is being rebuilt, right, uh, like the information of like the crisis errors makes them to become the new titans, right? I mean that's going to be like super weird, right? Because I mean just like think about it a little bit, like what we are seeing here is that, well, I mean it's not so weird if you think about it a little bit, in the sense that okay, the crisis errors are going to be having uh, the flames, right? So something that could happen is that actually like these flames are like these beacons that when the metamorphosis goes on, actually like throughout that, the information of the flames makes the people that possess them transforms them into the titans, right? And it's like an ongoing process in the sense that first some of them are created, right? We know that those are like the time, so on, right? Uh, but at that point, they are fully recreated, right, to the entire Titanhood, right? Uh, and at very end, we have like the Calamities one. Uh, it's super weird again. I know I have said for a long time that this is like a super weird concept, right? But it's that it is super weird. Um, um, because I mean, to some degree, this is. I mean, we can see why an Axioris is thinks that this is super correct, right? But to some degree, it is, in the sense that I mean, just think, for example, the timeline of Castrum Cramulus, right? Like if you go by the by the timeline of Castrum Cramulus, I mean, technically the Kragnos have existed forever, right? And we have like these statues in there, and for some reason like it needs to be that the world is reconstructed in a way, right, that actually like Craston Kremus is going to rebuild these statues, right? uh, how is like how is like this information of this plan could maintain through the cycle of the destruction, chaos, and rebirth, and progress of a complex world ends up into having like literally this state of strife, how strife's ends in the previous world, being replaced all the way almost to the end of like the previous world is like super complex, right? Because I mean, again, custom Chronos is not created out of thin air, right? And we have like at the end of this, at the end of like the previous world, Naeus comes up with this plan, so on, and for some reason, like this structure of himself as a Titan is stitched into the information of the new world, so that eventually the new world comes to fruition, humanity progresses, the Gremlins appear, eventually the Titan of Strife arrives at the new world from like the process of creation eventually arrives because we are told in the prophecy that it's one of the later Titans to come into existence into the new world. The criminals start following them. Uh, Strife just tries to conquer everyone, does its thing, and so on, right? The Black Tide arrives, and okay, Strife goes and tries to like keep it at bay, fails at that, madness ensues of the Titan, right? And for reasons, the Kryptonians literally decide to position the pieces of Neos back again so that actually uh, his soul can be retrieved again and passed on into the next rebirth. I mean, to some degree, you can see why it's like the tradition. These are tradition that okay, uh, Nikador is such and such and such and has these pieces and so on. Why the tradition is so important to be kept alive, passed on from generation to generation, because literally that dogma is not just dogma, it's literally uh, the structure on which the world was built, right? So I do not know. I'm cooking here. I'm literally cooking here. But man, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm trying to think how is that they are an Excel right now is going to solve the puzzle about where death is. Because again, like something that we see here is that death exists only as like the first entity of death, right? In the new world. So literally we have this metamorphosis thing because literally like from day one we have the sacrifice of death to make another world, but according to the prophecy it doesn't like kicks in, its power doesn't kick in until it has matured enough or something like that. So to some degree we need to go to this primordial burial of death itself, because I mean death is nowhere to be seen because it was like literally the first one to die or something like that. And it makes absolutely no sense in my opinion, right? But I mean something that we have seen already for a while is that actually the effects of the crisisers are delocated from themselves, right? I mean technically the titans and the rules that they govern, like the physical rules of affairs that they govern, actually apply just from them existing. it's not necessary for them to like literally be on the place for the rule to apply, right? Which actually, if you think about it, is very similar to how eons work, right? I mean, eons are just embodiments of a concept, regardless of whether the eon is at a certain place or whatever, even though technically, I mean, kind of like the lore is that they are like omnipresent or something like that, but regardless of their presence or their interest, the concept can be applied regardless of them, right? So, like in this case, regardless of a Titan noticing or like being present physically or spiritually or mentally or whatever, so their soul is, regardless of them being like that present there, the rule or the embodiment that they represent is still there, right? Like, for example, we see it that time and time again with Orynyx. Like, regardless of whether Orynyx is at that place, time prevails and time applies and time can be manipulated and so on, regardless of whether Orynyx is like literally there. We see it also with the strife, right? Regardless of whether a strife is specific as the place, the strife will occur as long as we have the strife titan. Where we have these two coins of the strife, right? We have seen it on the 3.1. One thing is the strife that the strife by itself commits, and the lack of strife is also just surrendering, right? Something like that. Um, And we also see it with Cersei's, in the sense that even though like Cersei's was its place, its tree, and so on, and its representation, we see the chimeras, right? The chimeras, a creation of Cersei's, and other presences of Cersei's actually are from place to place, right? Um, and clearly, the most representative of them all is death, right? Because I mean, even though like death is nowhere to be seen, death occurs. Like literally nowhere to be seen is the death titan, right? But that happens. So, what can I say?
Are their whereabouts truly unknown? Didn't Polixia mention that seaside town? The birthplace of alchemy and the tale of the dragon. In our world, there exists a city which perfectly matches that description. Styxia.
But the people there worship Vagusa and bear no relation to Thanatos. I have also never been to that place, as in the time of Idonia, it had long turned into underwater ruins.
Take this.
This is...
The Nusporist masterpiece, the Philosopher's Stone. It was made by transmuting all of the sage's wisdom into a single entity, with their flesh and blood as its foundation. Remember? I've mentioned before that the art of alchemy is all about conversion, tempering, and ascension. This process also applies to the pursuit of truth. Regardless of how unbelievable this sounds, the truths of the world have been refined from the impurities. Think about the story of the dragon. This stone will lead you to your real hometown, allowing you to reform the door to the Netherrealm and discover Thanatos' fate.
You still look as confident in your victory as ever. But what if your conjecture is wrong?
Simple. I shall merely admit to the entire world that my experiment was a failure. However, my line of thinking will not fail because I have already planted the seeds of doubt into the hearts of the masses. Actions speak louder than words, Castoris. With the assembly about to begin, don't forget the promise you've made.
I've already searched for so long. I'm willing to try one more time. While we converse, her life is also slowly slipping away. But before I leave, I have another question. What exactly did we witness just now?
That was the world imprinted in Kefali's soul. If we are to prove its existence, you must take the final step. Go. Do not disappoint me.
I understand.
Hey, child of humanity.
Don't get antsy. I still remember the question you posed to me. As a scholar, I do not wish to offer up ambiguous conclusions. Let's discuss this topic again when she manages to find the evidence.
I merely wanted to ask, was that stone transmuted from your heart? If so, rebirth is no longer an option for you.
Why not? When I was a child, I lost someone dear to me. When I was a teenager, I lost my faith. A while back, although you saved my life, I also lost my soul in the process. Now I'm merely forsaking my body. What's the big deal?
Why are you always finding ways to die? Isn't it good to be alive?
This is but a necessary sacrifice on my path to transform into the purest of them all.
Can someone who's dead even claim to be the purest of them all? Furthermore, if your hypothesis is proven correct, does it not just confirm that the myths are true, and thereby invalidate all your theories?
No, it's just the opposite. If my hypothesis is correct, it means that I can actually ascend to godhood and reshape this absurd world that you all have created.
That's a lot to take in at once.
Lady Aglaya, please, let me explain.
Go on.
You know that the core flame of death has always been the greatest unknown regarding the Era Nova, which is why both you and Kindness desire to gain the power to control that core flame in the approaching Citizens' Assembly. Professor Anaxa has come to a consensus with Kindness. They want to suspend the trial once Thanatos' core flame is reclaimed, hoping thus to eradicate death from this world. If they're successful, then the flame chase journey will cease, and Akama can enjoy everlasting peace. But I know this runs counter to your wishes. So long as we do not usher in Era Nova, the Black Tide will never be eradicated. Even with Lord Mighty on the front line, and the Black Tide not posing an immediate risk, the danger nevertheless remains. Honestly, it's difficult for me to assess the pros and cons in this decision. But someone must bring the core flame before we can begin negotiations over it. The Titan could be very near. I cannot let this chance slip by. Besides, someone has to make this trip to bring back Mrs. Soul.
By the way, we already know that actually Anaxa's plan is not even to usher the Crestea area, right? He just doesn't want even Crestea area on Era Nova. He just wants it in his style, right?
Well said. You already had every reason to seek an audience with Thanatos. It's that great performer who has weaponized your wishes and placed us in this difficult situation. A world without death. Do you desire that too?
I mean,
If fate dictates that my path must oppose yours, I will do all I can to resist it and protect what I aspire to achieve. Lord Mighty showed me that without taking the first step, all talk of what follows is moot.
I am not going to punish her for that. I have always hoped to hear you speak your mind, Cass. And I am glad to have heard your true thoughts. Styxia. I visited that place in the past. Though it is now an island surrounded by the river of Souls torrents, it's not hard to see its former splendor. Go. I will not stand in your way. As for you, you are someone who has cheated death. I believe you have more than enough reason to make the trip with Castris and meet the god of death himself. Castris, I too look forward to your journey. I wonder what kinds of new interpretations your completed story will bring to the Flame Chase journey.
Thank you, Lady Aclaya.
I hate to put a damper on this heartwarming moment, but if Styxia is now an island surrounded by the river of Souls torrents, then how do we find a way in? Lady Treby is probably...
The answer is quite simple. In the Mids, Zagreus once made the domain of the dead their treasure vault. That is to say, they could enter and leave the Nether Realm as they pleased. And if they could do that, then it follows that the demigod who inherited their divinity must be capable of the same.
like in a slow scale, right?
I'll see you at Memorial Palace at Action Hour tomorrow. Cipher shall be your guide to finding that ancient city.
But I mean, Stella has like 48 hours, right? And we have already like consumed like 12.
Hey, friend! Is the debate finally over? Did you win? Won a glorious defeat. You sure know how to look on the bright side. Well, moving on. I was hard at work even while you were at the debate. I borrowed a mountain of books from Cass to see if I could find a way to solve your problem. Let's see. I still have only 32 books to go. Really? Oh, that's fantastic news. I knew it. Hard work always pays off. Especially if you're as diligent as ma'am. I feel like a huge burden has finally been lifted off my shoulders. Why are my eyelids so heavy all of a sudden? You're right. Then I'll go back to...
Huh, we didn't know Mem had like a hideaway. It isn't like terminal, right?
Cass? What a surprise.
I mean, Trevi, I thought Trevi wasn't going to be here because, I mean, Trevi hadn't appeared until now, right? I think, if I remember correctly, so I just thought that for budget purposes, Trevi wasn't going to be here, but...
Lady Treeby.
Is something troubling you?
I just wanted to speak to Lady Trian for a bit before I set off. No matter how breathtakingly beautiful Styxia once was, the place is now the domain of the departed. There is no telling what we'll encounter there. I don't want to have any regrets.
Has anyone told you that your eyes are sparkling today?
Is that a figure of speech?
In the past, when you did smile once in a while, all of us could see that your heart remained troubled even as you smiled.
Lady Treeby, you know perfectly well that see you tomorrow is nothing but a white lie. I hope your toughness is not a mask hiding a lonely heart.
Cass, you hardly ever talked of your past. None of us knows what you went through, apart from Maggie. But we know it must have been filled with pain and hardships, as it is the fate every Chrysosaur is destined to live out. We are just happy for you that the core flame you're meant to inherit has finally surfaced.
Isn't it a little too soon to say that?
But you already know where tomorrow is, don't you? There is no need to rely on anyone else. Just give it your all and leave no regrets. We have always believed that your embrace is just as warm as everyone else's, because we embrace others to comfort them. And Cass, you're the kindest Chrysosaur we know.
Thank you, Lady Treeby. This feeling... it's hard to put into words. I suddenly found myself with so many wishes. So much I want to accomplish before setting off.
Then go do it, Cass. Trian was actually working on a surprise gift for you. It's a pity she didn't get to finish it. But now Trinan and I are working on it, and we'll make sure to give it to you. So, let's meet back here when you return from Styxia. Safe travels. See you tomorrow!
I can't see now.
It's me.
I hope I didn't wake you. I'm glad to see you're as full of life as ever. I'm here because of private matters, actually. If it isn't too much to ask, I'd really like it if you could come along with me to retrieve something. Is your soul... Huh? But I can still sense your soul here. Ah, sorry. I didn't realize it was a joke.
Oh, poor Cass.
It isn't a long way from here. Shall we?
Ooh.
The streets are packed. It seems the vote to pause the flame chase journey has begun.
I want to vote! Tell me how I can vote!
Take your ceramic shard engraved with the Kefali rune, select the Council of Elders in your heart, and pray silently until the shard registers your choice. Then toss it into the Dolium.
The Council of Elders? More like the Council of Buffoons! The Black Tide took my hometown long ago! Who are they kidding with bringing back Erechrysia? It's all a sham to create their own Erechrysia in Akama!
The Titans are just. So long as we do not overstep our bounds again, we will not incur divine wrath.
Oh, please. The time when these deranged Titans should have vacated their spot to the demigods is long overdue. You'll see soon enough, you old fogey.
I mean, probably this guy has better arguments than us at Crisis Eras, actually.
And I pray that Talantan smacks some sense into you with their scales. We shall see how this turns out.
That was quite a spectacle. You're interested in that? Well, you'll feel right at home in Akama then. To this day, I still find it almost unreal that Akama is the only place illuminated by light amidst the crumbling ruins of Amphorius. And its people are even holding votes to reconcile differing opinions. This peaceful sight is making me forget that this is the end times. Before coming here, I had lived for many years in Idonia, a city of rime and frost. The people there were devotees of Thanatos, and were well known for their unique burial rites and traditions. Traditions that I played a major role in. Yes. You now know me as the Mortician of Akama. But back in those days, I was Idonia's Maiden of War. I was trudging across the frosty plains on my own when the Idonians found me. They saw the curse in me as a blessing from Thanatos, and believed that my hands could correct the Erechrysia's mistake and lead them to meet the great god of death. They provided me shelter, but in return, I was expected to grant merciful deaths to war captives, prisoners bound for execution, and heroes alike. Is that how you see it too? But no matter how kind or cruel the means, nothing can change the essence of death. Taking away someone's life is never worthy of religious worship. I can't do it. Their voices, they pierce my ears. The pleading, the thanks.
Ah, I know that feeling, child. I was once as lost as you are now. But you must respect those walking towards death. Just like how you should respect yourself as the Holy Maiden granting humans glory and liberation.
What you're asking me to do is no better than the task of an executioner. And yet you want me to respect myself. No matter the titles, I am still taking away human lives.
This won't be the first time that Edonia's fanatical nether warriors have faced death. On the contrary, recruits new to the battlefield often run away from their first fight. Death is the mightiest and gravest power in this world. The fact that you can wield it means you are deserving of respect.
That's such a twisted reason.
Then let me tell you a story. In Idonia, the great swords commonly used by executioners are called Draconian, in memory of Drakon, an elderly executioner. The sword has 3 air holes along its body. If the sword is swung down swiftly and accurately, the holes would make no sound, and the executed would also depart this world quickly and painlessly. But should the executioner have any hesitation, the holes would produce a piercing whistle. On that cue, the screams of the executed are sure to follow. Every executioner after Drakon is to hone their sword skills every day in preparation of future executions. Every swing of their blade must be more resolute than the last, for failing to do so will bring pain. Pain for the dying, as well as pain for themselves.
No. I can never get used to this.
You misunderstand, child. I am not telling you to get used to it. I'm asking you to consider the source of the dead's suffering, and use that knowledge to fortify your future touches with more and more determination. Go, walk with the dead, and love them as you love life. Then you'll no longer hear those noises.
Please, don't kill me. I don't want to die.
So when we have made decisions is that they cannot be taken back, right?
This is your duty. Remember, consider the source of the dead's suffering, then give them the respect they deserve.
Thank you. I beg you, don't listen to her.
If you cannot learn to accept death, then Idonia has no place for you. This is your last chance. Do it.
No, please, I don't want to die. Please, I'm begging you. No!
May you gain some insights through his sacrifice.
Is this all?
No. Come with me. This is just the beginning of your life as the Maiden of War.
You executioner!
her glorious death.
Do it then, executioner.
You heard him.
I curse you to live in eternal pain.
Please, grant me release.
You know what to do.
When will this ever end?
Come. Fulfill your duty.
What are you trying to do with me?
I have aged. The time has come for me to heed the summons of Thanatos and journey to their domain. The final resting place of every Idonian.
You're not that old yet. You still have many, many years ahead of you.
No. I'm already dead. For I have come to fear my declining health and impending death. Casterus, will you give me one last chance to charge towards fear and prove that I am no coward?
I can't take this anymore!
Child, it was I who brought you here, from the frosty plains, and set your farcical fate in motion. It was also I, Chief Executioner of Idonia, who forced the heavy duty of executing others onto you. I've always known that you have doubts, and even anger about my faith, and about me.
I never had a choice.
Indeed. We essentially abducted you. Yet you can end any sinful life with just a touch of your fingers. Shouldn't it be easy for you to escape from here?
I'll never do that. It doesn't matter how lightly the Idonians take death, or how readily they accept it. I simply can't do it.
I knew I was right about you.
What do you mean?
I've taught you and cared for you as my own daughter all this time because of this blessing that's been with you since your birth. I know no one else in the world would understand the weight of life and death more than you do. In the eyes of an Idonian, death is the end of all life. A destination we will all eventually reach. Humans should not resist it, but learn how to face it. You can only live your life to the fullest after understanding this principle. And when you do, even if you eventually leave Idonia's protection, even if you must carry the curse forever, you can live with your head held high, like everyone else.
No. How can I?
Come now. It's time. I've already taught you all that I know. Show me that you are a fitting holy maiden. Or at least that you possess the resolve to become one. Come now. It's time. I've already taught you all I know. Show me that you are a fitting holy maiden. Or at least that you possess the resolve.
Ooh. Well, I mean, we have the triple later on, right?
To become one.
Emerge from your cocoon. Protect us!
Nice, like a good boy, friend. Indulge yourselves!
Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
It ain't over.
Who's here? There's more to life. Eternal.
Ooh.
How's this taste?
Please cherish this time. As you wish. Some value, I suppose. Embrace a new life. This was the last time I followed her command. I gently touched the elderly woman before me. The executioner, who had seen too much death, died the same way as everyone else. I gasped for air, a wistful look in her eyes, and a barely perceptible tremor in her fingertips. Elder Amunet, the person who tried to teach me about death, ultimately vanished like dew in the morning mist. She spent her life embodying the beliefs of the Idonians, and when death finally came, she embraced it exactly as their doctrine had taught. I have nothing but respect for her. I erected a cenotaph in her honor in the marshes outside Idonia's city walls with the others I had laid to rest. Then, I set out once more in search of Thanatos. It was a long, long journey. I heard so many discussions about death along the way. Life finds meaning in death. The world improves because there is an end. It seems the most terrible darkness in this world. Everyone talks about its heavy weight. Some resist it, Some worship it, and some even revere it. How did a disappeared titan become the deepest fear of humankind? And why do they haunt my dreams? I continued my travels to seek an answer. Initially, I was running away. Then, I started searching for it. And now, at the end, I just want to know if my touch, if my embrace, can do more than taking things away. Can I make anything? Can I leave anything behind?
I don't want to die. Please, I fucking you just let me go. I don't want to die, please. I don't want mercy like this. Just let me go. I need him. I don't.
I hate these icy hands.
Get it over with. End its suffering.
And so this is the
The Reaper has blessed your hands. Only you can grant them peace. Embrace death. Walk alongside it.
that you, Castoris? All of them have gone, heeding death's summon, crossing into their domain. I must go too. I don't fear it, just I have some regrets. Watching people leave this world again and again, it must be lonely for you. You must want to desperately embrace them before they go. I can't. These hands, they're too cold. But Big Sister Castoris, your hands are so warm. Just like anyone else's. So go on. Don't hold back.
Give me a warm hug.
Can hands like these really be warm?
On the day that Oryx's trial ended, you must have had many questions. I felt just as confused. Why, as someone from beyond the sky, were you so cruelly dragged into Amphorius's fate? I wished I could take action, but no matter how hard I try, I cannot simply interact with the living as ordinary people do. Even when we brushed against each other unintentionally in the grove. And it was obvious that nothing had happened. When an almost unattainable hope finally welled up in my heart. When I thought that perhaps my touch would no longer bring sorrow, fate declared to me, it wasn't that the curse of death had finally been lifted, but that your soul no longer belonged to this world. And there was nothing left for my hands to take. Nothing. And did I really think this time would be any different? It's not that I don't understand this reality, just that I'm unwilling to accept it. Having walked such a long road, I am still unable to find the answer to life and death. I am resigned to eternal despair. Anything I wish to hold on to, death will inevitably wrest from my grasp. From that moment on, I lacked the courage to confirm it again. Until Oryx laid bare the cruel truth before us. And now, perhaps I might have one last chance. Long ago, Trinan read a prophecy to me. At the end of the Sea of Flowers, the souls of the living shall warm thy fingertips, and after an embrace, there shall be eternal separation. I found no surprise in it, for her words sounded not like a foretelling, but a perfect reflection of my past. Embraces in this world are born of reunions, yet my touch speaks only of farewells. In that moment, I had no doubt that this destiny would weave itself through the entirety of my life. And yet, things have taken a turn for the better. Now that I can finally have an audience with Thanatos, perhaps I can rewrite the meaning of that fated prophecy. I have no reason not to give it my all. For your sake, and for my own.
This is so mean.
I'm sorry. I probably said too much. I hope I didn't make you uncomfortable. Let's put that aside for the moment. We've arrived. I want to retrieve a small gift I specially prepared for you. I made it myself, like the trinket I gave Lady Trian. I want to leave something for everyone, if possible. The journey to seek an audience with the Death Titan cannot be an easy one. I want to make full use of every moment I have before we depart, so that I don't have any regrets. Then, perhaps you can have a look at it first. You don't have to take it if you don't like it. Look, it's right there. Huh? Where did it go? What's going on? I am not some corrupt grown-up.
Yeah, I don't know what they chose. Oh, Cipher.
What's this? The coin of Zagreus and a slate. So it's her. No doubt about it. This is her favorite symbol. It's a Lady Cipher, the demigod of Zagreus whom Lady Aglaia had spoken of. She's a master thief who's left legendary tales all over Amphorius. So many years have passed, yet she's still announcing herself in such a crass manner. Let's just do as the slate says and look for Lady Cipher.
Oh man, this is a very big wall of text. Dear Princess Homebody, walking through the busy garden, we discovered that a mantle of leaves crafted by Princess Homebody. They are truly splendid and I'm most impressed. I'm also taken with your charming presents prepared for fellow crafters in the vampire. There are the beautiful fur tolls, the blues and lavender strip tapestry, the classic ebony tripod table, and in the left parlor, the jewelry and exquisite art pieces meant as gifts. This time I have claimed only this modest gift. I fear it will attract tasteless dear thieves, so I shall safeguard it for now. Naturally, I have left the appropriate payment, a single coin. If the price displeases you, feel free to negotiate its return. Though should that happen, I won't be satisfied with even one coin. Should you wish to find it, visit the memorial market. There lies the golden short spear I have left. You know what to do. I shall guide you to me. It shall guide you to me. Before you ask, I won't accept my questions. Please forgive this small intrusion and accept my harsh regards. P. Tough. Who displays biological specimens of them, they are quite unsettling. You may have stored them away from entertaining guests. Postdata. Despite your considerable investment in your owner, Australia hanging in your apartment, regret to inform you it's a fake. The original was craftily switched by those cunning scholars of the Court of Stephanie. The full story can be found in the yet unpublished memoirs of Cipher. Sincerely, keep contact. Please. To retrieve the keys and teach kids something preparation to the market of and the short spirit.
Look, it's right there. I must pursue her. Huh? This is a trick she left for us.
Oh! So, if this one is saying the truth, if this one is the right spear, so one of it is the right spear. If the last one is the right spear, this is a lie. Wait, no. Yeah, it is a lie. Alright, so two things. It is a lie. So this must be a lie, right? Well, this entire thing needs to be a lie. And if that's the case, then this is telling the truth. Okay, so one is with the truth, right? Okay. Okay. So I misinterpret this writing here as being like the correct one, right? Not just being like the one on the side. Okay. So back to square one. So okay, if this is the truth, this is saying a lie, which is fine. I mean, there's no contradiction, right? Because if this is a lie, it's fine that this is saying the truth, right? Because anyway, this is saying a lie, right? And if this one by itself says a lie, that's fine. No, what's not possible is this one to be true, because if this one is true, both need to be true. And if this one is true, this is a lie. So, regardless, right?
She's incorrigible. Follow me.
But I mean, I do not know if Cipher is going to be respecting her words.
This
right?
is how it should be. We must pursue her. Lady Cipher, please come on out.
You're still careless as ever. Shouldn't you keep such a precious gift near your bosom?
Since you know it's a gift for someone else, please give it back to me. Stop hiding among the people and letting the wind carry your voice.
That's interesting.
Now, since I know it's a gift, that just means I need to milk its worth. The children of the wind never stay for long in one place. Unless your offer is tempting enough to steal the wind. What say you?
Name your price. I'll give you however much you want. What's wrong?
No wonder they call you Princess Homebody. Why don't you two come over to my place? It'll make a better venue for proper business discussions. You can find where I live through the winds I've sown. Right.
Piece of cake. I can do that even if I can only sense your soul.
Alright, I'll see you there. Oh, by the way, everyone cool with me collecting a deposit before we reach an agreement, right? Now, come this way.
Right, isn't it?
She's incorrigible. Follow me.
Oh, yeah, I remember what's the deal. The place from Barbarian Brain is there. You probably just already have the intention of showing up at the pack beast worship. This means, of course, I have no plans to return the gift. Maybe this was just a one for a little game of cat and mouse. But surely you've realized that the kitty phantom thief, the kitty phantom thief never cared about stealing a milk trinket, right? No, what I'm really after is your heart. Just kidding. I'm not interested in how Princess somebody can trick my path, and my only try. I'll be waiting at the end, and rest assured we'll meet face to face this time. Here's good mystery. But did you get that view of divine blood? Don't tell me it's a view from the citrus latte. I'm tasting for you. Oh, cool.
Don't sneak up on me from behind, outsider.
Here we are.
Over here! Over here! No, not that way! This way! Come on. If I really wanted to hide, you'd never find me. So relax, you two. No need to get your hackles up. I'm not that scary, am I? Meow. No way. Some people might have been into that a millennium ago, but it's long since gone out of style. Loosen up, buddy. Shall we get down to business?
Give me the jewelry piece first, or everything's off the table.
Oh, come now. Don't be so upset. Relax. Relax. Look, isn't the view here just great? You can see what everyone is doing and where they're going, and they won't even know you're here. Now that we've broken the ice, let's get to the point. Everything I've said so far has been a joke. I'm inviting you two here for 3 things. 1. The seamstress found me and wants me to take you to Styxia to look for the Death Titan. 2. The Council of Elders also found me and wants me to make sure the core flame of Thanatos ends up in their hands. And last, but not least, I'm telling you that I'm not interested in doing either of those things. Don't go look for the Death Titan. The end. Well, this is some high-quality stuff. And this room is full of it. How much are these worth, Did you get all this through that Aeronova gimmick?
Some of it is family fortune, while the rest came from my business as a dressmaster. Don't liken the flame chase work to your shady dealings.
Wow. I should have busted down your door instead of going around like a thief. Well, spill. Why are you giving me so much money?
Payment for doing work. You're worth this much.
Did you forget my stance to all this? I thought I made myself very clear.
You wish to run away. Run away from your responsibilities, from the prophecy, and from your destiny. You shall walk with greed and die over petty change. I understand this prophecy weighs on you immensely. That is why I have never reproached the demigod of trickery for running away. But I need you right now, so don't turn me down.
And die over petty challenge. I mean, I'm wondering if this petty change is like literally just like I'm not sure what the animation is here.
You know, maybe the gods got your tongue with their golden threads, Aglaya. I'm not hearing any sincerity in your words. Give me a reason why you're bowing your noble head to me.
We lost Trian.
Oh.
The divine power of passages is running out. I need another demigod to escort Castoris and help her fulfill her lifelong wish.
Oh, I get it now. You're sending Castoris to her death. And you want me to die with her.
I mean, this face is worth it. I mean, honestly, this face is worth like all the update. I mean,
this is Castoris's own request. I have never seen her so determined.
She brought this up herself? You're not pulling my leg.
She's also made up her mind to leave her confused past behind. As will you, Cipher, when you finally make up your mind.
Don't be so sure. Time is hard in the likes of you and I. But Castoris remains pure as driven snow. She can always turn back before the end, you know? Maybe she'll remember Trian's sacrifice. Maybe she'll remember the countless martyred Chrysos heirs. Maybe she'll remember you, with your one foot in the grave. I ain't as optimistic as you about what she'll want to do. Tell you what. Why don't I take this room of treasures as a security deposit, and we make a bet?
Go on.
I bet she'll change her mind and turn back. Now, if I lose, I'll do what you want me to do. Return this deposit to you, plus giving you another room full of treasures. How does that sound?
You sound like you have all the confidence in the world. In that case, let's make a pact with those conditions. I hope you're prepared to lose it all.
No.
In conclusion, I want to win. So I hope you two can give up on going to Styxia. I'll give all the treasures in that room to you. And you can split it between yourselves however you want. What do you think? Tempting, right?
I decline. If we don't find the Death Titan, her soul will...
Oh?
I can't go into the details, but we have to go to Styxia.
I really don't get how. Princess, homebuddy, you keep talking about needing to find Thanatos, about getting rid of your curse, and you don't care about anything else. But did you ever live for your own pleasure? Even for just one day?
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying, contrary to your beliefs, Aglaia didn't take you in just so you can die for her Aranova.
The flame chase journey walks hand in hand with sacrifices. Isn't that why you're always running away from Lady Aglaia?
Fine. Never mind. We all have our own problems. I ain't gonna say anything anymore. It's not like I was gonna honor that bet anyway. But listen to me. Styxia is no tourist destination. Sure, the treasures buried in there are 10, no, 50 times richer than Aglaia's vault. Yet, I've never been there. And I never plan to. Because even a demigod can't be sure they can walk out of that place alive. And now I'm supposed to escort you to Styxia. Sure. Pay up. You know, you're not wrong. At least it's part of my responsibilities.
I don't like this. However, I have lived a longer life than most people. Though I'm not as good at doing business as Lady Aglaia, I still have some savings. I can give them all to you.
Then how are you going to live the rest of your life?
Then I'll give you 90, no, 80%.
Well, don't mind if I do. 80% of Castrus's savings and a bottle of dew of divine blood. Not a bad trade.
She actually has fangs.
I'm so scared. Can you even catch my tail? Here. Catch.
Be careful with that.
A minor change in plans, though. Don't go to the bath tomorrow. Come look for me at Akama's city gates instead.
Ooh, another trap.
So, why are you changing the meeting place?
Oh, nothing really. Just a bit scared of the seamstress's frosty face. I wouldn't stay a second longer in Akama if it were up to me. Well, now that we've struck a deal, why don't I give you guys a lift back? It's gonna be a long ride. So have a good rest.
She went to me. Hey, mystery, this promo addresses at the start of letters are such a hassle. We have already made 3 useless phantom 5th letters. I have left plenty from the 5th here. Take good care of it. Remember, skip the back and come straight to Alcatraz and the way to find it. You know I have no patience. Come late and I'll leave without you clear. Yes, yes, and they also touch it. You're welcome. Trinity found it. And then I'm not sure if this is why they usually say that the HSR is helps it like not hiding to want to be like some candidate or something like that. But, I mean, I just feel it's fine. Oh, she returned the Day of Divine Grace. Kind of.
Have you heard? Seems like
I really hate when they make the doors too long, but I'm guessing it has to do a little bit with to get person or making this concept change. For the approaches I need scrolling change. Scroll mysterious, right? The secret of the correct resources. Right now she intensive in finding versions for this all. This is like a side quest that I have no idea when I the items. It's like the from like Legends of the Moles, right? Something like that. Spring of Life, less in fine grain produces a prohibited. The store of wisdom inheritance and fine grains of exclusive offering of meat to geometry, the eye of wisdom, examine cultivation and the store of the god. I mean, these ones are good because usually they give like some icon, something like that. But the secrets of wisdom and the codex of sources are nourishing intention and find by interiors photos of Georgios. Restrain yourself to feel pain. Passage with the flicker of candlelight for one kind of feel like beginning pretending that okay, it's not necessarily this. A spring of life's blessing and find blind for the sacred filter. And there's think there is a secret filter. Oh, it changed, right? Oh. What do I do here? Oh. Another microphone box. I must have misaid it when it comes to storage. Looks like it will be easily transferable. Garage and experience conversation is standing out of the one is not at the record. So you use your middle fingers to tear open the book's cover and find the last two bottle containing an unidentified liquid looking at it. It must be some kind of drink, as the bottle has a single focus on it. Looking at its colors, we can see that it is not a clear as regular spring water. It has a suspicious cloudiness to it. However, there's always something special about it that, as it is luscious around, it is more flashes of alcohol. Mystical filter. Sessions of Professor Brown, mysterious ritual originals and so. Okay. Yeah, it already changed. So yeah, this is like the treasure of the moles. Like spread around all of the levels, and I'm still missing like half of it. I just want to see what happens if we go to the paths.
You carry the faint scent of distant lands. Would you like a bath, noble hero?
The golden thread has already facing the rival whom you were 100 steps away. The confidence still is there how she came to us. Okay, I had no idea that you got anything to just like come around to stuck to the light. Citizens we have seen too, there was this outlander. And my beloved bossman would receive such major mood swings, using to receive guests for days on end. It is the trickery of this outlander. Slander. I only petted it like you. Only your dramas would be so tame. Like me. My dramas are sacred beasts, blessed by Georgius. They are night priced. Like Bosman here, it loses its appetite when it's fighting. Without food, we won't have the strength to carry people, and if it doesn't work out, we'll stop much more money than that. And look, these beautiful scales. They are a little shabby, but whoa, and if this is scratch up here, you must have done this with your grubby fingers. Yeah, that was already there to begin with. Stop making excuses now when any touch it besides you that day. You will pay for my losses. Those who have just arrived, worry not, for I shall wait there before once more. In recent times, most men have been unusually late, and in resulting amiss and personally still worried by its cage. Here's who will call red-handed, he said loudly. He will call here on time every day till close to Rosman and pinch it badly. My heart beats for its abuse. I was massaging it. I noticed something wrong with its behavior, so missing that it was overworked, wanted to ease its pain. An owner like you, working your beasts of burden to the bone without a day off, even mountain dwellers would be hard-pressed to keep up. However, livestock no can will not be dictated by an ignorant of manners such as you. I should be respecting our customs. That's right, I didn't know much about the myself, but this old man is overstepping his boundaries. Yeah, but then might even be another red sandwiches worshippers who could then sneak around. And that, according to our laws, we now have the choice to resolve this with compensation as usual civil in court. How could I have been wrong? Don't blame me then. Where are the gods? It's time to end you keep. Why does it sound like you are just trying to raise your voice so I might forget it? That is because those standing behind you aren't just mere supporters, though you live there, eagerly anticipating your fall from grace. As a conflict rather original, you live there the version of worship. The same ordinary will watch. I reckon you must have knowledge of the mind from the company employees. I have a profession in this practice. Not only the German society, I merchandise like the back of my hand. Asking, as the guardian of the German society, the most commonly known characteristic of lawyers. Usually, whereas it is earnest hardship, tenacity, and a thick height. Then how should romances blessed by Georgia be manifested? In the same way, obviously. It is not everyone may be asking a question. These dramas here are blessed by a talent that could such a thought which would have scratched on scales. So, how's that a guest of these when the city was attacked and Madden's king brought destruction around the streets, causing damage to many dramas. The scars on his scales are testament to its glory, for the servant of the earth not cover its skull, preventing anyone from noticing. But as a servant of the earth not cover its skull, then the gentleman gave it some massage, pressing the mark on its scale to be nipped off, and thus was the scar revealed. How ludicrous! You think your outrageous referee could have think him of having to compensate him. She didn't like that. There are other theories as well. The Drummond wasn't blessed on his initial frame, or the scar wasn't even made but not meant to begin with. I believe now Lidu there is the most aware of the truth. Feel free to choose your explanation, no matter which one is made. You, fine, I'm not pursuing this matter today. Just don't let me catch that out on the coin. Anything fun. This conflict has resolved. We could put through the causes and gossip discourse from loving to peace of fitness, and I'm sorry to see the drum and the drum makers. I understand that alright, solution to speak here of you should be nothing. That means such a good jumper. I still have something to say. My name is Socrates. You must witness what we say, Nakama. And I must declare the secret of my life. I've heard of you wired from the outcast. You also appear to be involved in the province plague in the Holy See. As you can see, outlanders are gradually becoming less welcome here. You're also not wondering, but you have walked side by side with the crosshairs, proving your courage and hailed as an esteemed guest. Not all are so lucky. This former eternal city has always been generous and opening its doors to outsiders, but as the black tide encroaches in people's hearts, they slowly give way to misgivings. Here's a long story. We should look for a place to speak about this more comfortable, about the part facts. If you don't mind, I'll go round about back first. We can take a look around the city since I still mulling over what just happened. We might find something of interest. Ah, all for this.
Bright and sunny. Just the weather for farewells.
You're...
No need, I already told her. She's fine with it. You sure know how to put me in a spot, Casterus. I need to travel with you, but I can't touch you. What a bother.
Interesting, right? So she cannot steal anything from Castoris because of fear of touching her. So she can actually be like a skill thief and actually have like silk touch, but that's not going to work on Castoris, right?
Sorry.
Aw, I was just teasing. Don't take it to heart. Did you know that the legends say you have to put an obol into the mouth of the dead or over their eyes if you want them to successfully cross the River of Souls and enter the Netherrealm? That's the fairy fare for entering the Netherrealm. However, I honestly won't ask you to pay this time. I'll pay. And then we'll just have to go through the motions.
Don't worry. It's not a lot.
All right, pass me the coin. It's time to get the gods' powers going. A fleet-footed trip to the Nether Realm. Here we come. Oh, one last thing before we go. I gotta give you this piece of advice. Especially to you, Princess Homebody. You can't catch the wind by waiting. You only live once. So make the most of every moment you have.
Get ready. Be steady.
Hi, your turn.
Don't be nervous.
After all, it'll be gone in the blink of an eye. All done. Bye-bye.
I mean, I can see why she's going to be quantum, right? But
Are you feeling all right? She's the demigod of trickery. When she flips the coin of whimsy into the air, she gains incredible speed that lets her travel anywhere in an instant. Just like how she clearly had no intention of lingering here for even a second longer. We can only depend on ourselves for the rest of the way.
Don't worry. Mem's here to help.
I mean, that's good, right? Because I mean, supposedly Mem is like the token of Stella, and it has been spread so far away. Maybe Stella would have already kicked the bucket.
I don't think I even meet the height requirement for the ticket, so I won't need one, right?
This is Styxia, the city of dragons and waves. Anaxa hypothesizes that the missing Thanatos is somewhere in these ruins. This is the land of their birth. Or perhaps of their death. Anaxa had used a secret alchemical art to temporarily fuse his soul with Circe's and Kephale. And when he was on the verge of death, he was pulled by Thanatos and caught a glimpse of the flowing river of souls. This alchemy, considered a sacrilegious act, might actually make the souls of mortals and titans attract each other. Even though Thanatos has been missing for 1,000 years, and even their followers haven't been able to find them. Perhaps that special attraction could summon them here.
Oh, so are we going to use that Philosopher's Stone to conjure the Titan?
I guess that's the only way. The only leads we have now are the name of this city and the fairy tale about the dragon.
Thanatos is even more mysterious than I am.
Indeed. Even one as erudite as Anaxa could only point us to this place, and no further. We will be entering the unknown as soon as we take our first steps. But that won't be the first time in my long journeys. I believe that, rather than standing still, taking action is by far the better option. Perhaps fate might take pity on us today and show some compassion.
Go back whence you came. Go back. Ahead lies the realm of the dead. a beautiful butterfly. Is it talking to us?
This is a eulogistic butterfly. They are found in places where many have met their demise.
We didn't find any of this one in the grove.
In Idonia, some think of them as manifestations of Thanatos' benevolence. By turning the lingering obsessions of the deceased into these creatures, it is as if the Titan has made life into a specimen.
I mean, it's interesting that actually we have the logistic butterfly and also like all of Castarex is a butterfly motive, right? Okay.
Others think of them as Thanatos' messengers that guide the departed to the nether realm.
The second theory sounds more believable. After all, the things they're saying are rather, direct.
Perhaps. But the fact that we're able to hear their whispers proves that we're fast approaching the realm of the dead. These shadowy figures. Are they illusions reflected by the River of Souls?
Just as I noticed, like the map is showing nothing. Oh, so we're inside of the room. Oh.
Looks good.
Interact with the room. Best to obtain the rune of recollection. With the rune in possession, the miracle of elimination radius moves with your character and reverses the surrounding space. With the rune, the recollection in possession interact with the rune base to drop the rune and the miracle of elimination radius will stop following your character. Oh man, they can hide like a lot of chests this way. This is nasty. Also, to be honest, oh, they can also hide like enemies this way.
Is that all?
Why was that? So that actually did not happen. No, actually that would be more than this, right? Ah, that actually scared me. I felt like suddenly an enemy was going to appear. Yeah. Oh. Okay. So looks like I need to leave now. So yeah, this looks more like the thanking of your friend, that kind of thing. Oh, so those change. Man. I have no idea how they are actually making all of this work. For sure, I really feel this is very sophisticated. Okay, actually, it makes working. I can't save us.
Stream 4.
So yeah, really, as I was saying, this is also like a fantastic way to also hide enemies. Poof.
Stream 4.
And I'm remembering that the river guy is also around.
Seek, and you will find.
Ah, this looks nasty.
Puzzle in and of itself.
I do not even understand how I got that. But maybe it's how I said the other day, right? The harder, the more complicated, the easier, right? Because kind of there are not that many options to be done. Man, I just feel I'm like 1 inch from like actually breaking the toaster, but apparently it's not that heavy on the toaster.
Don't forget to let your friends in on the action.
There's nothing. Oh man. Things in there. And then it's amazing that they are actually able to pull this off. This looks trivial, but I think it isn't. Oh, you have to be kidding me. I'm slightly afraid that I need like a technique point barrel in there. I'm just afraid that suddenly we're just going to like move to some side and there's like a tough like we're gonna be a tough battle even there. Actually, I can do it, but not with this thing. I thought, no, a glitch. Nearly had just gotten stuck in there. Oh, let's try it. Yeah. I thought I had seen like blue. Yeah, there's one. Okay, that's where this ends. Okay, we do not have too high. I have no idea where the wick came from. I think we start here, right? No, this is where it's the platform. And that's in there. Well, I saw coming. I mean, it shouldn't be this hard. I mean, this is small. And it looks like there's not that much depth. jet. Oh, I see. It's not the first time that I have the issue. It's not that I can see the... Oh, I thought there was going to be mechanism. Ah, that's enough. Okay. Cool. Oh, we need to reach this place. Why did we start it? Man, why did we start it here? No way, right? I think we start somewhere in here, down here, because it's like opposite the one, and you can open the those boxes. If that's the case, we start somewhere in here. I'm so lost. Okay, I'm going to end it here, unfortunately. At least we got the treasure. Oh, final of the BMC point. But yeah, it's already time. No offense for passing by, and see you on the next one. Bye!